How would you address the comments that Arnold Schwarzenegger made at the Arnold about the bodybuilders having big waists and so on?
I think what the new fan did was attach themselves to that comment way more than the people that have been in it a long time. This is nothing new. He said something that our president, I mean, come on, like Jim Manning used to talk about this the whole 10 years I've been pro, we've been talking about this issue. The one thing I have to address to Arnold and everybody else, who won the show? Dexter Jackson won the show. So Dexter Jackson was the epitome of aesthetics and all these other things, but yet if you don't like how someone looks, don't invite them to your show. And it's just the way it is. So next year, maybe it's smart that if I were doing it, I would say 6 weeks out, 3 weeks out, you're going to send your invitation again, and you're going to send some photos that is going to go to some people, that is going to be a close-knit group, selected group that he selects that says, if this guy has distension already, I don't want him at my show because that's my product. And I don't blame him for being upset, but you're inviting them to your party. I'm not going to invite them to my party. It's not like the Olympia. I mean, you had to earn your way, and if they mess up their prep, that's on them. But this is an invitational, so I advise those people who run the show to remind these athletes, like, hey, you're not looking right.
It's like who won the last 4 Olympias, and in your structure, you're not somebody who's known for having a big waist.
That doesn't apply to me. So
no, I know. And who's won the Arnold the most times?
Right, Dexter. So
he's known as one of the smallest waists in the.
I'm not here to like throw shade on but I think at the same time, you guys have to understand, like, when someone of that magnitude, Arnold Schwarzenegger has done a great job for our industry, bar none. But what you guys have to understand, what he means is he doesn't want the other guys that are placing lower do that again, because that is his product, right? So he's trying to protect the brand, of course. But if he were to say Mr. Olympia or Arnold Classic champion came in this, that, and the other, then it's a problem. But I mean, come on, like, all of the judges, I think, got it right at the Arnold Classic. I think they get it right at the Olympia as well. They're doing their job. They're marking down the guys who came in. I'm not even going to throw names out there. Y'all know, like, the guys that came in with the distension did not place well. So all that stuff does not really apply. So you guys got to stop with this whole, like, who's aesthetic, who's not, because the guys that are winning already have it. It's the guys that don't get on their ass on their social and say, hey, man, you placed 7th, 8th, 9th. I want you to be in top 3. Get your gut right. Get this right. But, I mean, come on. You talking about the top 3 guys in the world saying us to get it right. We're already top 3. Yeah. Talk to these guys. They're the majority, actually. They're the guys trying to come up. Tell these young cats that are trying to get up there. The same young cats that they were talking about how they're going to do something had distension too. So it's not the top guys. It's the young dudes. It's the some seasoned veterans as well that should know better. Don't bring that package. But ultimately, it's an invitational show. Don't bring their ass to your party if you don't want them looking like that. And that's coming from Mr. Olympia, because I don't want to see a bad product either, because it obviously affects us all.
Will you ever compete at the Arnold? If you're invited.
That's what I was going to say. I haven't been invited. I haven't been invited. You guys, if you want me to do it, if you guys want me to do it, seriously, there's a couple things that have to take place, and they're going to say, oh, it's the more
prize money.
I'm going to ask you guys a simple question. Would you do the same 40-hour job or a 50-hour job for less money? So you have to think, like, when I get ready for the Mr. Olympia contest, it's taking me 15 weeks to do Olympia. I'm going to win that prize money, right? Within 6 weeks, I have to do tours. No time for nothing. Then in December, I have to get right back on it and go do it for half the money. I don't know if you would work 40 hours a week for half the wage. So in order for someone to make sense for that to me, to take time away also from my company, they would really have to throw me a bone here. So I would love to do it. I did it in 2013 because I wanted to beat those same guys that won't do the Columbus show, because Kai hasn't done it, and I did the Spain show to beat him again, and all those guys. Roden didn't do it this year, so I beat those guys at an Arnold Classic. So, I mean, Ramy hasn't even done the Columbus. So a lot of guys still have to do it, and I'm not trying to deflect.
Sure.
I will do the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic if there's certain conditions that would be met. I'm not bigger than the industry by no means, but I have to make it worthwhile for myself as well.
It's your opinion, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, because I mean, if I don't come in right, they're gonna say, well,
Gunther beat Ronnie Coleman at the Europa show.
if I don't come in even better than the Olympia without any rest and don't look the same, you guys are going to say that I was off and I shouldn't have deserved it. So yet I was still better than them. So it's kind of like it
You got more to lose
there's more
than
to
win.
lose than gain. So they have to make it to where I gain something. And I don't really expect people to understand that mentality because they're not walking this life. But I'm trying to illustrate it to you as well as I can to give you perspective as to why it makes sense on paper.